head on back to the second fight then of the night. Oh, wrong way. Chris Curtis versus Marc-André Barriault.
Yes.
Obviously, Chris Curtis has been on the channel a few times. He's joined us for a watch along. He's joined us for a Q&A. Yeah, good times with Chris.
Good old Chris.
So we'll leave them. Let's leave the significant strike stats for you guys to take a look at. But let's one thing on let's go start off with Chris Curtis then. He's been on the receiving end of some kind of unfortunate circumstances in his last two fights, which were last year. Two accidental headbutts against Kelvin Gastelum and Nassourdine Imavov. Obviously, the Imavov fight ended in a no contest in the end. Is this stylistically a dream fight for him? Can you see Chris Curtis getting the finish here?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I think stylistically this is a good matchup because I think was he originally meant to be fighting Anthony Hernandez, wasn't he?
That was I think that was towards the end of this year.
But yeah, I think stylistically it's a good fight for him. It's a guy that's probably looking to stand, and I think if Barry looks for the takedown, I don't think he's going to have enough drive for it because we all know Chris has got great takedown defense anyway. I think like he said on Embedded as well, he wants to give the Canadians another good fight. I agree with that, and obviously he's been training in amongst some of the greats now. Obviously, Sean Strickland's obviously the champion. He's been in and around that camp now, and I think they've both got the motivation to sort of go and get the job done for their fights. But yeah, I think Chris Curtis's boxing it's underrated in my eyes. I think some of the shots he landed, like Phil Hawes, how he caught him, how he caught Joaquin Buckley again, finished Joaquin Buckley. I think he can catch Barry on the feet. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think this can kind of really play into it. I think if Chris remains a bit more sort of counter boxing sort of style, let Marc-André come to him a little bit. Marc-André's got some good cardio and that's the reason why he's called Power Bar.
Yeah.
But we've seen him get knocked out, We've seen him get face planted, and he could very well rush into something. I think Chris is capable of catching him. So it's going to be interesting to see when we get into the gauges in just a sec. But on to Marc-André then. He's on a 2-fight win streak against Julian Marquez and Eric Anders. Two impressive performances as well. Wins. Very good wins to have. But how does he get it done against Chris Curtis if he was to get it done?
Yeah, no, he's got to mix it up in this fight. He can't be one-dimensional on this. Like I said before, if he's going to be on the feet, he's got to mix it up, mixing the takedown here and there, make Chris guessing and thinking.
But Chris did get taken down in that last fight against Nassourdine Imavov.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And I just think you've got to frustrate Chris because we all know sometimes he gets a little bit frustrated in there, and we've seen him get frustrated. So, or you do a Jack Hermansson and just land a couple of shots, and then on the defensive, obviously, because Chris does get very, very annoyed with fights like that, doesn't he? Like I just said about the Jack Hermansson fight, land a couple of strikes, shy away, let Chris come to you. But yeah, I definitely think Andre Barriault needs to mix it up.
Yeah, no, that takedown defense stat I've just decided to bring up there has gone down a little bit since that Nassourdine Imavov fight, down to 92%, but that's still significant.
Still good, yeah.
And not only that, Nassourdine Imavov's got a little bit of Daggy in him. So, there's an exception there. And Marc-André is no Dagestani. So, that's fight maths for you.
Yeah.
Have we got any chats before we get into the gauge?
We've got old Breezy coming in. It says, the longer it goes, the more I appreciate him wailing out to Sweet Caroline.
Oh, can you pop that back up for us?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's because that menu come up.
Okay,
again,
yeah. Go on.
Yeah, so I read that one. And then we've got George Mary that says, Marc-André is coming, is a comeback king. He's a comeback king, though. He looks like he is getting finished and then cracks them. But Chris is strong and training with Sean helps him out, progressing higher up the rankings.
Agreed. Yeah. That's true.
He's definitely make it competitive. I'm just trying to think about Andre Barriault. I'm trying to think of like you said, his last two fights, because obviously Eric Anders, I think he was cracking him a few times, but come back in that fight.
Yeah, the Anders one was quite impressive for me because Anders is very
stud,
physical, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very athletic. I wouldn't say he's the most skillful with his hands necessarily. Not exactly known for knockout power as such.
No, you're right. But yeah, like
but it
I
was a
said,
good
if you can mix
decision.
it in.
It was a good decision. It was a fight of the night. The Julian Marquez TKO, that was quite impressive.
Yes,
Because the
that's
Cuban
true.
missile, I thought
Yeah.
like we were going to be onto things with Julian, because Julian, prior to that fight,
Yeah,
okay,
he was on
he fell short against Gregory Rodriguez, but the two fights that he had against Maki Pitolo and Sam Alvey, where he got the submissions, were really good.
And obviously the Canadian crowd could play into it a little bit.
That is true.
Could give him a bit of an extra boost. Who knows?
That is very true as well, to not add. Okay, cool. Let's get into then the gauge for this fight then. Striking wise, who can give this one?
I've got to go for Chris on that one.
Chris, that's fair. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Like I said, his boxing style, a lot of people may disagree, but I think his boxing is underrated. He's very, very great counter puncher. Like I said, the finishes of Phil Hawes and the finish of Joaquin Buckley. Oh,
yeah, I think that's pretty easy
to watch.
Grappling's interesting. We've not really seen much grappling from Chris Curtis.
No, we don't.
In the UFC, of course. Marc-André, we've seen him do some wrestling. Yeah, so would Marc-André get the wrestling edge?
Wrestling.
Yeah,
I've got to go for it because, like you said, I don't think I've actually seen Chris Curtis go for a takedown.
No,
because he just loves to strike, doesn't he?
Yeah, so that's fair one. Power.
It's got to be Chris Curtis. He's got sneaky power as well.
Agreed. Yeah, he does. He's got some slick hands, of course, but speed. Ooh. Speed's a hard one. Maybe Marc-André. His sprint is 0 to 50 mile an hour might be a lot quicker.
Yeah,
might be able to close the distance a lot quicker than Chris, perhaps. Say on the feet, but then in terms of punching power, does that also punching speed, does that also transcend as well? When we're thinking about speed,
you would likely give it to Chris, but again, like the last one, like the last fight we broke down, I wouldn't be shy of not giving it to Marc-André Barriault either. This is where we need some comments in. Who do you think we should give it to? Let's hear you in a chat. Come on.
Okay, maybe we'll head back to that in just a second. Is it safe to say that we can go with Marc-André on cardio then?
Yes,
because he is the power bar.
Oh yes.
Stop.
I don't know. Nor does Chris though. But then again, Chris has tires sort of in his last, like you said, in his last two fights.
Yeah,
he's not got going enough, is he?
Chris pushes the pace, but then he's not exactly like relentless as such.
Yeah.
Whereas, Marc-André's quite relentless, but he also maintains that for 3 rounds. Near enough.
Yeah.
But speed. Anyone can help us. It's difficult.
It is.
I don't really want to give it to them both. Because if we give it to them both, then that's 3 each.
Just because I mainly see Chris Curtis on the front foot landing, I'll probably say Chris.
That doesn't answer it for speed, though, just because he's on the front foot.
No, just because he's on the front foot, like in his face, like jabs.
Hand speed.
Yeah.
Hand speed alone is Chris.
Yeah, he's got good footwork as well. He's quick on the feet.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that would leave us 3-2 then for Chris Curtis, siding with striking power and speed to get it done against Marc-André Barriault, perhaps. But that's not to say that that would be the outcome, of course. But if there was going to be outcome, what are you siding with?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go Chris Curtis, second round TKO. Like I reckon he can catch Andre on the feet. Like I said, his boxing is underrated. I definitely think he can catch him on the feet. And like I said, he's kind of in need of a win. Yeah,
he really is. And obviously, because we've been on the channel and we've spoken to him, we're going to be rooting for him a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of bias there. But, and...
Nothing wrong with that.
But then aside from that, because he has been unlucky last year, you do kind of want him to start the year off
with a bang,
with a banger, with the positive one. All right, cool. Right,
there it is.